How's it going, YouTube and internet? This is Power Surge, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about opening a restaurant or taking over a restaurant, because my father did it, and I wanted to tell you what happened to him, kind of what his pitfalls were, so maybe you could avoid them, or if you know someone who's opening a restaurant, they could look out for these things. The story goes, my family is from Argentina. My dad loves his culture, loves Argentinian food. There's an Argentine restaurant in town. I'm not going to name drop it because of legal reasons, but this restaurant served our family's type of food, and I had gone there my whole life, and the owner and my father were very close friends. My father was big when El Torito started. He first came to this country, and he worked there as a manager and helped open some of the bigger locations, so he loved the restaurant business and always had a dream of having his own restaurant. Well, the owner of this Argentinian restaurant and my father took a trip to Argentina, and while they were there, they bonded pretty closely. They shared a great traveling experience, but as well, my dad's mother, my grandmother, passed away while they were there, and my dad got to see his mom, thank God.
Incoming call. I put it on the screen.
Look who it is calling. Holy smokes, he just called me with a crazy conversation. Anyway, where was I? So my dad's mom passed away on the trip, and he was kind of in a vulnerable spot. He was emotional at the time, and this friend who owned the other Argentine restaurant was kind of talking in my dad's ear. My dad was considering taking over a second location that the Argentine restaurants had and becoming a partner. And this owner who was with him during this time was kind of telling him, like, I really want you to take over. You're the one who can make it grow again. It needs someone like you with enthusiasm and knowledge who's going to come in and change things up and make it successful. And then he would say things like, oh, I've got other offers. You better get into this restaurant quick because I got other people that are wanting to become partners. And the guy was selling my dad. The truth was, my dad bought into the restaurant, so he paid like $15,000 to become a partner. And the old partner was telling my dad, why are you doing this? Like, you've got young kids, you've got a business, you don't have time for this, and that other guy that you're signing to do business with, he's a liar and scum and a cheat. Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself. My dad didn't listen to the old owner. The old owner was stoked. He was getting out of his partnership with this evil guy. The business had problems underneath the surface that my dad didn't know about. So when my dad comes into the restaurant after a few weeks, the fire department's coming over and threatening to shut it down because the electrical is not up to date or not working properly. Underneath the building, there's stuff backing up, like water backing up, because the septic or like this sewage drainage line underneath the restaurant is not ready to go, and there's like all these crazy problems. Air conditioner breaks like multiple times in the summer, which cost thousands of dollars to replace or repair. Crazy amounts of cost. The kitchen was way too small. It was like a hazard, so they had to pay to expand all this area, as well as paying to refurbish and nice the place up. Even with all these hurdles and obstacles, my dad managed to double the sales of the restaurant. He doubled the sales. He was making a little bit of money, but all the money he made, he was pouring back into the restaurant, and he was putting all of his time, which my dad doesn't have a lot of free time because he decided to get remarried and have 4 kids. So my dad, after just a few months, ended up spending thousands, something like close to $40,000 on equipment, repairs, just things that needed to be done to keep the place going. Things that before going into this deal, he had no idea he was going to have to take care of. Finally, the restaurant does okay business and does pretty good business for the summer months, but after that, things get slow. And he's also working in a pasta restaurant. It's like pasta and meat. And right now, the trend in food is like low carb, gluten-free. Give somebody some like spinach with some dates and some nuts with some oil and vinegar and a little bit of feta cheese. That's what people want nowadays. The new trend is not pasta dishes with 2,000 calories on them. As delicious and amazing as they are, that's kind of what Argentina food is. It's very carbohydrate based. Business starts to slow down, and my father's trying to sell the restaurant at this point because he isn't making profit. He's pouring his own money into there just to pay his employees, to pay the rent. His other business is basically being leached off of by this restaurant to keep it open during these slow months. And he finally finds a buyer for the restaurant, some couple that wants to take it over and make it some kind of Vietnamese cuisine or something like that. Finds a buyer. After he put all the work renovating, repairing the restaurant infrastructure, he finds a buyer that wants to take over the place. And lo and behold, when they talk to the property manager, the owner of the property, the guy says, we're not going to renew a lease to you or anyone. We don't care. if you want to sell the business. We're not going to sign a new lease with anyone. We're going to sell this property. We're going to sell this land. Orange County, Costa Mesa has been gentrified. All of Orange County has been gentrified, but the land beneath our feet is worth a lot of money, and all these small businesses or properties, the owners of the properties, instead of renewing the lease, will just sell the property to like McDonald's. Or it happened on the corner near me right now, Sonic replaced like a family-owned restaurant just because the land was worth so much. You know, you're gonna sell it to make money if Sonic or McDonald's or Chevron or Walgreens comes in and offers you a lot. So he couldn't sell the restaurant, and when the lease was up, he closed the doors like a month early, and he was trying to salvage all the stuff he had there. He's trying to sell whatever he could or take whatever was of value from the restaurant, because that was basically what he bought. When he took over, he paid thousands of dollars to become a partner and thousands of dollars to keep this place running for a year or two, and all he gets out of it were like the old knives and forks. He's got a truck full of just crap that I don't know what we're gonna do with. It's tables, chairs, catering stuff, like enough stuff to start a new restaurant. Stuff that's going to be really hard to sell. We've got this entire storage unit filled with cold tables and ice makers and freezers, stuff like that, but everything is used and old. It's not that easy to sell. This whole taking over restaurant thing that my dad did cost him close to $100,000, if not more. Even now, the guy that screwed him over in the beginning is suing him, claiming that like my dad made a verbal agreement for an additional $15,000 or something back like 5 years ago. And so this guy's trying to sue him on top of just taking him to the cleaners, you know, by handing him this bag of shitty restaurant. But you need to do very thorough research if you're taking over a restaurant or opening one. You need to really crunch the numbers, look into your facility, and do your diligence, or else you're going to pay for it in the end. And that's why I'm making this video, because my dad paid for it really hard, and I don't want other people to suffer the way he did. And it's taken him a long time to get back on his feet. So, if you guys like this video, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. Feel free to share it with anyone you know who's starting a restaurant, because I think this story is helpful. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. He was going to have to be responsible.
But I believe this requires your attention.
Dad again.